Hello and welcome to Haunted Montreal's Spooky Story Sessions. I'm your host, Holly Rhiannon, and today I'm going to tell you all about the old Dow Brewery. Today we examine the abandoned Dow Brewery in Griffintown. Popular with urban explorers and paranormal investigators, this creepy, rambling structure is reputed to be haunted. Griffintown and alcohol have traditionally gone hand in hand, so it's not surprising that breweries, whether legal or illegal, have always been a part of the neighborhood's fabric. The Dow Brewery opened in 1861. The son of a brewmaster, William Dow was born in 1800 in Perthshire, Scotland. Given that his family had been brewing beer since 1652, when he immigrated to Lower Canada around 1818, he had substantial experience in the field. He landed a job as foreman at Thomas Dunn's Brewery in La Prairie near Montreal. In November 1829, William Dow became a partner in the enterprise. Following Dunn's death in 1834, the brewery was rebranded as William Dow and Company. The firm prospered and became the principal competitor in Montreal of Molson's, the largest brewery in the city at the time. In 1861, William Dow ordered the construction of his massive brewery in Griffintown. By 1863, Dow's plant was producing approximately 700,000 gallons of beer, compared to Molson's 142,000 gallons. William Dow was laughing his way to the bank. The following year, William Dow sold his brewery to an associate named Gilbert Scott for £77,877. Already very wealthy, Dow wanted to focus on other ventures such as real estate, banking, insurance, and railroads. Under new leadership, the brewery kept the name Dow. Despite being a bachelor, William Dow lived in the baronial style. His luxurious stone mansion, Strathern House, was located at the top of Beaver Hall Hill. Upon his death on December 7, 1868, the house and the majority of his estate, estimated to be in excess of £300,000, were left to his brother's widow and her 4 daughters. In 1909, owners of Dow Breweries got greedy and amalgamated with another 13 companies in an attempt to monopolize Quebec's beer industry. Dow Breweries was purchased in the 1920s by National Breweries of Quebec, which itself was acquired by Canadian breweries. In 1952, the expansion continued when they purchased the Boswell Brewery in Quebec City and renamed it Dow. The enlargement plan was very successful. Furthermore, with bold advertising and the jaunty slogan, "Wouldn't a Dow do good now?" and Dites donc Dow in French, translated as "now for a Dow," the brand exploded in popularity. By the summer of 1965, Dow was undoubtedly the preferred brand of beer for Quebecers. Indeed, about 85% of beer drinkers were consuming it on a regular basis. However, starting in 1965, Dow beer drinkers in Quebec City began to complain about the taste. Before long, a patient was brought to a local hospital with symptoms of alcoholic cardiomyopathy. Over the next 8 months, 50 more cases with similar findings appeared in the same area, with 20 of these being fatal. Doctors noted that all of the patients were heavy drinkers, with many consuming over 12 pints of Dow beer every day. Rumors began to spread that the beer was poisoned. Although Dow denied any responsibility, the Dow Brewery in Quebec City temporarily shut down and pumped thousands of liters of tainted beer into the St. Lawrence River. However, epidemiological studies later found that Dow had been adding cobalt sulfate to the beer to increase its foaminess since July of 1965. The concentration added in the Quebec City brewery was 10 times higher than the same beer brewed in Montreal, where there were no reported cases. The brand took a major hit and lost almost all of its market share in Quebec. Sadly, for Dow Breweries, the writing was on the wall. Despite opening the Dow Planetarium in 1966 as a major project for the Canadian Centennial, the following year Dow Breweries was sold to O'Keeffe. Molson then acquired it in 1989. In 1997, Molson discontinued the Dow beer brand, and the following year abandoned the Montreal Dow Brewery. Employees were laid off or transferred, electricity was cut off, and the old Griffintown brewery was allowed to fall into ruin. While the old Dow Brewery in Griffintown has long been abandoned, it has not been empty. Urban explorers, ghost hunters, and mediums have all ventured inside, convinced that something lingers there among the ruins. One particularly disturbing rumor suggests that the Montreal Mafia once used the site to dispose of bodies, hiding them somewhere within the crumbling walls. While there's no solid evidence to support this, the idea has fueled speculation that the brewery holds more than just history inside its decaying structure. With such an infamous reputation, the Dow Brewery has been recognized as one of Canada's most haunted locations. Paranormal investigators have reported unsettling experiences there for years, but one story in particular stands out. In 2009, a team from Montreal Paranormal explored the building and immediately picked up what they described as horrifyingly ghostly energy. They returned weeks later with two separate psychics who didn't know each other, and both reached the same conclusion. A young girl had been murdered inside the brewery by someone she knew. Not only did they describe her clothing in identical detail, but they also pointed to the exact same spot, claiming that death was under the ground. Attempts were made to communicate with the spirit using ghost hunting equipment, and one psychic reported seeing the glowing outline of a little girl standing and crying. The girl, they claimed, didn't realize that she was dead, only that she was trapped, locked away somewhere, waiting to be freed. Despite multiple visits from paranormal investigators, the case went cold. Traditional research has found no record of a missing or murdered girl at the Dow Brewery, leaving the mystery unresolved. Urban blogger Taylor C. Noakes once recounted an unsettling tale about the old Dow Brewery. He mentioned hearing from an acquaintance who had come across mobsters disposing of a body there. Though Noakes wasn't fully convinced by this story, there was an odd part of him that couldn't let go of the idea. The thought that after being abandoned for so long, the brewery could have become a grim hideout for victims of organized crime stuck with him. Fast forward to more recent times, and with the ongoing development of the Dow complex, Noakes' musings about bodies being hidden within the brewery's walls seems to take on a strange weight. The École de Technologie Supérieure, or ETS, has been working to transform the former brewery into a new addition to their Griffintown campus. The ambitious project aims to provide cutting-edge laboratories and promote sustainability. With the focus on technological innovation and carbon-neutral energy resilience, the renovated project is moving forward with the preliminary studies already complete. Despite the excitement for the building's future, Noakes' earlier visions of construction workers stumbling upon the dark remnants of the brewery's past haven't been completely forgotten. The ongoing renovation of the building, which includes archaeological and environmental assessments, could potentially unearth much more than just old industrial equipment. With the brewery's long history and the various rumors tied to it, there's a sustained unease that any renovations might unearth long-buried secrets. Noakes once imagined construction workers, having already uncovered something far more sinister than old brewing vats, lining up to speak with counselors behind the brewery's old loading docks. The city's coroner and homicide department would be left to deal with the troubling discovery of unidentified bodies buried in the building's many forgotten corners. These remains, perhaps victims of criminal activities linked to the brewery, might finally be brought to light, but only after years of hiding. As the renovation continues, speculation about the building's past and the possibility of gruesome discoveries remains. It's a reminder that for all the forward-looking plans for the Dow complex, the building's history still holds a disturbing weight. Until a full forensics investigation is done, the dark past of the Dow Brewery will remain a mystery, its secrets waiting, perhaps, to be revealed beneath the dust and rubble of progress. That's it for today, but before we wrap up, we'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date on all of our latest content. Share your thoughts on this episode, and feel free to include a ghost story of your own in the comments. While you wait for our return, be sure to check out the original blogs by Donovan King over at hauntedmontreal.yt, where you can also get tickets for in-person haunted storytelling experiences. And don't forget, we'll be back with a new video in 2 weeks. But until then, stay spooky.